What's going on? So this is something I'm doing a little different. Right below is access to the Art of Holding plan, and there's a payment plan. So the link's below, how to get into the Art of Holding payment plan. And we're getting ready to add some more content to the Art of Holding. So that link's below. All right. What have I learned from creating not one, not two, but 3 holding companies? Just so there's clarity, there's only one holding company that I'm actually using. Literally, I just switched everything to the new holding company, and I'll explain why as we go further down the road. So the first holding company setup was about 2015, and that was the YouTube and the online courses, and I had separated them. And then the second holding company was for my real estate endeavors that never happened. Essentially, it was set up for real estate and to buy, lease, and hold real estate, and I never got into that. And this is one of the things that I've learned. It doesn't matter how your holding company is set up in terms of operating companies and your holding company for getting business credit. This, hands down, was probably the most important thing that I found out about holding companies. Holding companies enable you to get massive business credit. And it's amazing how much business credit you can get if you have a holding company set up and you know how to do it. And this is how I got $1 million in business credit in 1 year, because I had the holding company set up. And this was holding company setup number 2. Now, as I've gone along and I've actually filed taxes and paid taxes on the holding companies, this is another thing I've learned. Essentially, you want to pay because this is how my third holding company will be. Once again, the first 2, I'm not doing business out of the first 2. I'm only doing business out of the third. Pretty much for nostalgia, I just keep the other 2 holding companies active, but there's not really anything going on. And once again, I'll explain. So one of the things I found out is that banks only care about cash flow. Literally cash flow. You get these things like, there are certain businesses that are forbidden or bad businesses. I don't care what kind of business you have. If you have a relationship with a bank and this bank sees that you're putting money in your business account, they're going to do business with you, regardless of what you're doing. I don't care if it's car business. I don't care if it's a liquor store. I don't care, whatever. Because here's the thing, and this is one of the things I found out. Banks only care about cash flow. And this is another reason that I was able to get $1 million in business credit, because I had very, very high cash flow in the operating companies. So this is something else too that I've learned from having holding companies. There's a way to massage the money, and that's something that I will teach you guys how to do in the Art of Holding, because literally another thing, and this isn't massaging the money, that's a secret business technique. But another thing, let's talk about taxes. Taxes, one of the things I've actually learned from having a holding company, filing taxes, paying taxes on the holding company, is how to actually pay myself much, much better. The old holding company, I had an S Corp. The new holding company will become an S Corp once money starts coming into it. But literally what I did just didn't work. I had myself on a salary, which they was fully taxed. And this whole thing taught me how to handle distributions totally differently. This third holding company, distributions will be paid out in a totally different manner, because I ran into a tax situation that actually cost me way more money than it should have. Literally cost me $25,000 because I didn't understand how to file the tax things in the nomenclature of taxes. Because literally, and that was a mistake that I made. And I was like, whoa, we're never doing this again. And this comes from actually having a holding company, having businesses, having money going through the businesses, and paying taxes. So the third holding company, which I feel is going to be my best holding company, because the first holding company, I had all my businesses separated. And the second holding company, I had all my businesses separated. But the third holding company, it gets a little different. It gets very, very different. The third holding company, and this I got I got all kinds of stuff here. My desk is a hot mess, but this is something that's really, really, really different. This holding company is not going to have as many companies, even though in the art of holding, I will teach you how to set up one holding company and 4 operating companies for business credit purposes. But essentially, we have this holding company, right? And this is something that's very different, really, really different. I have one operating company, and out of this operating company, the YouTube business will be part of this operating company. Online courses will be part of this operating company. Affiliate products will be part of this operating company, and YouTube online in the e-commerce business they're all, so this is 4 revenue streams all coming out of one operating company. Now, the question is, why aren't you separating these 4 revenue streams? Because the YouTube, the online courses, the affiliate income, and the e-commerce stuff, they're all generated from the same brand, Hustlers Kung Fu. So it's one brand, but it has 4, well, let's go ahead and say YouTube, when this YouTube channel becomes monetized, and it will literally have a situation where it's going to have 4 revenue streams. And essentially what's going to happen is the YouTube, the online courses and everything, this is just going to be, from an efficiency standpoint, it's going to make more sense to do it this way because it's easier to keep up with. The YouTube, the online, the affiliate, and the e-commerce business, which will be Hustlers Kung Fu Drip. And essentially it's one brand that's compromising these 4 revenue streams. Now, essentially, I'm going to do everything out of this one operating company, which is a new operating company, okay? Also, there will be a second operating company. I'm going to say I'm probably going to form it this year in 2024, and it's going to become active in 2025. And this is something else I learned from setting up a holding company. The planning is everything. The planning, YouTube, and blogging. I got to get on that, blogging. So YouTube, online, affiliate, e-commerce, and blogging. All that's going to be in this operating company because that's all under one brand. Now, the second operating company is going to be a totally different business that I have never done before. Now, this is where setting up a holding company and having multiple streams of income and all this other stuff, I've learned that you want to organize this stuff before you do it. So I have it written down on paper how I'm going to set up this company. And also, there's going to be some different things that's going to come because this one operating company, once again, I kind of see it's going to have warehouses, a warehouse, and it's going to have a truck. So that's all going to be centered under this operating company. The second operating company is going to be completely different. It's going to be completely different. It's going to do something different. It's going to look different. It's going to feel different. And one of the things I've learned from setting up all this other stuff is planning is huge, because the first 2, I was already doing business and I just kind of lumped my businesses into it because I was already doing it. But this time, and I think the third holding company is going to be the best holding company because number one, it's going to be well organized. And number two, this is something that's really interesting. The second holding company is how I got $1 million in business credit. And this is one of the things. What I'm gonna do, and this is an advanced tactic. I know that in the future that I can literally go ahead and get those same business credit cards with one credit card issuer and literally transfer that credit to the new business credit card. And this is an advanced tactic. And this is how I'm going to end up with $100,000 credit cards. It's just going to take some time and effort and more planning. Because essentially, with this new holding company, I have plans like this is going to happen toward probably the fall of this year. I'm going to get some more business credit. And then in 2025, after I file taxes for this third holding company, I'm going to get an additional line of credit. Now, essentially, to get lines of credit, you must have active income. You must show your tax returns to the bank. I already know this, so I'm already set up for it. And this is one of the things that I'm getting ready to do to set myself up to actually be ready for the future, because after putting these holding companies together and going through this whole process of paying taxes and doing this other stuff, I've learned a lot. And it's really, really important how you organize and set this stuff up. It's very, very important. So once again, the third holding company is the active holding company. That's the thing that's going down right now. That's the thing that we're working on. That's the thing that we're building. This third holding company is going to be very, very different in regards to setup. Because with this third holding company, my goal is to get to 3 to 5 million per month from all these revenue streams. That's the goal. That's what I want to hit in 2025. So the planning of setting up this and all this other stuff, because there's a lot of things I'm going to be talking about on this channel. And this channel is only going to be about business, holding companies, LLCs, starting businesses, putting businesses together, and understanding that concept. Because with taxes, and taxes are a huge, huge part. And the way that you run your business and operate your business has a huge, huge impact on your taxation on how you do certain things. This is the reason that Grant Cardone bought a $60 million private jet, because he didn't want to pay taxes on that money that was sitting in his bank account. Very, very important lessons that we will learn, but when we set things up and have things in play. But essentially, the holding company framework literally opens your mind, because essentially, I want you to think about this from you just starting your one business. You've got your one LLC, you have your one business, and that could be stressful. That could be really stressful, right? So you're working on your business, you're setting up your business, but when you go ahead and set up a holding company and you set up an operating company and you know that you're going to set up more businesses in the future, this expands your mindset. And it doesn't seem as daunting or as stressful having that one business. It just makes it like literally YouTube channel, online, affiliate, e-commerce, blogging. One of the things that I did not understand is the build out time, the build out phase of all this stuff, because there's things I've been working on that literally have taken weeks or months to build out. And now we're at a point where we have actually dropped something there's one thing that I'm not going to be selling directly the way that I was, and I'm getting ready to focus, because you will see some new ads. You will get to see some new things that will happen in the month of May. We got a lot of stuff that's going on, a lot of things that we're building. But organization, what I can say is I can learn from having 3 holding companies. Organization is key. Organization is everything. You literally want, if I was to take a picture of my desk, it looks like a crackhead that lives here, because I got all the stuff written down. I have everything organized, and I know what I'm gonna do this summer, even before June, July, and August get here. I already know what I'm gonna do. I already have plans, and I know what's gonna happen in the fall, and I know what's gonna happen after I file taxes, because all this stuff is on the calendar and it's a plan. So one of the things that you have to do and understand is this whole process of setting up a holding company, in my opinion, will make you a better business person, because you become a manager. And this is one of the biggest things I learned from having a holding company. You become a manager, and this is why the 3rd holding company is going to be my best holding company, because I actually have a team. I actually have people who are doing stuff. Now let's go ahead and talk about this. Would I have been able to do this thing when I first started? Absolutely not. The reason that I'm in a position where I can have a team and hire people to do things is because of the money that the 2nd holding company made, because I have access to resources. But if I was like in your situation, I was brand new, I was starting my holding companies from scratch, I wouldn't be able to do this. So this is one of the things I want to be very clear and distinct on what I'm doing and how that reflects on what you will be doing in the future. Let's go ahead and go back to 2011. When my first year, I made $92,000. My second year, I made $92,000. I wouldn't have been able to do all of the things that I've been doing. I wouldn't have been able to set this stuff up, because number one, I didn't have the knowledge. That's really key. Building 3 holding companies has given me a tremendous amount of knowledge and insights, because I've actually went through the whole process. I set up the holding companies. I set up the businesses. I've made money. I've paid taxes. And I've learned so much from actually doing this. And this is one of the things, because literally, if you were to go through the art of holding, I would advise you to set up a holding company. And I would advise you to set up 4 operating companies for business credit purposes only. Because once you do that, you can get a massive amount of business credit. But I would tell you, have that operating company, and the operating company, build as much as you can out of the operating company. Because like I said, I have YouTube, online courses, the affiliate income, e-commerce, and blogging in my first operating company. And if something else comes out of this, it will go in that operating company. And then the second operating company, which I will probably create this year, will come online in 2025, which will be a completely and totally different business. Because this is this is another thing I learned. A lot of the businesses that I was doing actually complemented each other. And instead of having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 companies, it just made sense to put businesses that complement each other, that work together in the same operating company, versus having them separate. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how many companies you have when you file your taxes, especially because this will be an S Corp. When you file your taxes, the Internal Revenue Service has a sheet where you're going to list all of your companies on there, and it comes out to be the same thing. So this is going to make it easier for me to file my taxes, because instead of having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different companies, I only have 1 operating company. So this is going to make it easier for me to file my taxes for the year 2024. And then in 2025, when the second operating company comes online, it'll be easier because it's going to be a distinctly different business. So once again, organization, efficiency, and setup that has come from actually having 3 holding companies. Now, once again, there's only one holding company that's active. Now, let me actually back up. All of the holding companies are active because I've paid the administration fee, and probably out of sense of nostalgia, I'll probably keep them forever. But right now, one holding company, one operating company, that's what's active right now. And we have so many things that we're getting ready to work on, so many things that we're getting ready to do. But here's the thing. Let's go ahead and talk about what you will do. You will set up a holding company and you will set up one operating company. And if there's other businesses that make sense, instead of actually having each company under a different LLC, you would just bundle these companies under one operating company. And it's very easy, it's very simple, and everything gets easier and simpler because you have one operating company and you only have one bank account you have to worry about. Because I kind of look back, I had like several bank accounts and stuff. Now this is easier, faster, more efficient, and much, much easier to do. So this is just something that you should think about as you build out your businesses, because we've got a lot of stuff that we're going to be talking about on this channel, and it's all going to have to do with business credit, and setups. So hopefully you learned something, and be sure to watch this video and all of the videos on the channel, because each video has value for you in terms of setting up and starting a business. So this is what you should do. After this video, you should go on the playlist and watch another video so you can get all of this business knowledge. So that's the second thing you should do. So on the screen, there's going to be some videos that's going to pop up, and be sure to watch these next videos.